This is D with Divine L. And it was interesting. The other day I tried to look up the meaning of drinking from the opposite side of a cup because I got that vision. Getting ready for a dinner prior to a wedding. And what does drinking from that cup mean? You know, the symbology. Like I said, most of those nighttime dreams, visions I get are very symbolic in nature and not necessarily spot on. Just a note. I was also in that vision trying to pick out what to wear. And what was selected was a red kind of jumpsuit. And I was thinking to myself in my head while I was thinking, I normally wouldn't wear something like that. But that's what was selected for me to wear. Don't know what that means either. And I haven't looked it up. But I did look up this whole thing on the cup. And when I first looked it up the other day, it was talking about how to get rid of hiccups. And so I just kind of gave up. But this morning, after doing that last video, I decided to look up the spiritual meaning of the cup. And as you can see, what I Googled religious meaning of drinking from the opposite side of a cup. And there's several things here pertaining to that. But remember what they told me, drink from the opposite side of the cup. So I'm trying to sort out what that means exactly. The other thing, and there's several things about drinking from a cup. Talking about the Passover wine, and then they talk about the chalice. Here's the one that stood out to me, houseoftruth.education.edu. February 11th, interesting number, 11, 2015. We are the cups that always want something in us, and we are never full. And anyway, it says teaching, investigating, blah, 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 blah. Not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it. May your will be done. The cup is what the feminine aspect of God is called. The Holy Grail. What was in that cup was a sweet cream drink. And so I looked up milk and honey, spiritual meaning. And symbolizing the summon, bonum, ecstasy, wealth, endearment. A land flowing with milk and honey. Spring is the season that recalls the biblical image of a perfect land so fertile. The secret of milk and honey, Kabbalah, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Kabbalists teach that amongst all things that we eat or drink milk and honey, meaning that the nutrients needed to make milk from the blood supply. Milk and honey are two indicators, the two spiritual sources that teach us. What's fascinating is I was just looking at Sir Robert Seffer's video about Mary Magdalene and drinking from the cranium caps. Menstrual blood, right? It's interesting. Everything's connected. I'll look this one up. Let's make it a little bigger. It's interesting because my grandfather and my father, it's 12:12 right now. Holy shit. My husband just stuck his phone in front of my face and it said 12:12. And they gave me the code 12:12 today. Seriously, you just can't make this shit up. Wow. My father and his father's father were honey beekeepers. Just an FYI. In the portion of Karak, the Israelites use, excuse me, allergies, use a very interesting argument in their anger at Moses. They say, Moses, you told us that you were going to bring us into a land of milk and honey, and you're not doing that. There are many other things that were promised or said about the land of Israel. So why do they specifically choose this accusation? What is the secret of milk and honey? Kabbalists teach that amongst all the things that we eat or drink, milk and honey are unique and that they come from a source that one would think is not positive. The general teaching around this is that we have the ability, when we eat certain animals, to elevate sparks of light from them. However, the sparks within some animals are so concealed that we wouldn't be able to elevate them, and as a result, would actually be pulled down if we ate them. Therefore, there are certain animals we eat and certain animals we don't. The animals we eat have the sparks of light we can ingest and elevate from. We don't eat bees because they do not have sparks of light that are pure or elevated enough for us to be able to ingest, yet we are allowed to eat their honey. And the Kabbalists teach science, and science agrees, that milk comes from the blood, meaning that the nutrients needed to make milk come from the blood supply. Yet, while we are not allowed to ingest blood, we are allowed to ingest milk. So these two, honey and milk, are unique in that their source is not something that is spiritually right for the rest of us to eat. When then is it okay to eat them? And even more importantly, because we know everything of a physical nature has an indication of a spiritual source, what is the secret of these two things? There's a very famous section in the Zohar, in the introduction after Ray Shaman Bar Yache leaves this world, where Rav Shinya Emeritus visiting the Rav Shimon Bar Yachi. I don't know how to pronounce that stuff, so yeah. And seeing the soul of what we call Mashiach, right? The Rav Shimon Bar Yachi and the soul of Mashiach make an announcement They say that the individual who is able to eat something that is bitter but taste it as sweet has the ability to transform darkness into light and knows that doing so is the purpose of life and therefore will be connected to the light of the Mashiach. The real purpose of our spiritual work, we learn from this, is not simply draw more light, but to actually become a person who has the ability to transform darkness into light, to taste what is bitter as sweet, like with the milk and honey. The work of the month of Cancer is really this work. Each one of the 12 months has a tetrahedrogram, grammaton combination that is an indication of what light is available and what the work of that month is. Cancer is the only month that literally has the tetragrammaton backwards. The Kabbalist Hivav Hayod. The Kabbalists teach this indicates complete judgment, complete because you take what is meant to be right, the direct flow of the light of the Creator, and you totally upend it and change it around. Is that what they meant by drinking from the opposite side of the cup? The work in the month of Cancer, therefore, is not to draw light, but rather to change darkness into light, bitterness into sweetness. The work is to take the Hey Vav Hey Yod and turn it into Yod Hey Vav Hey. YHVH. Remember, I've talked about the YHWH, the V's hidden in the W. So's the M. And never stop asking why, because if you look at that in reverse, the word why is there. Never stop asking the four archangels, because you'll get answers. So let's make it practical. What do we do to transform the darkness into light? First, the strong physical desire for anything that is an aspect that we call darkness, because it's trying to draw our energy and spark of light down into the physical. But to whatever degree a person is able to resist and fight those desires is the degree he is transforming darkness into light. And specifically in this month, we don't want to be drawn by our desires of the physical. Second, second is actually transforming the situation from darkness to light. Taking a situation that might be Hey Vav Hey Yod and transforming it to Yod Hey Vav Hey. We do this during times when things don't go the way we think they should. It is then when we need to not only just accept it, but be joyful in it, because we know it is the Creator, how the Creator wants it to be. Every single moment is exactly how the Creator wants it to be. And therefore, when the things aren't going the way we want or think they should, we accept it with complete joy, remembering it's from the Creator. It's from the program, the holodeck. When I showed you the astrology the other day and how my birthday lines up with Venus coming into Aquarius, that's no accident. Milk and honey are the two indicators, the two spiritual sources that teach us this concept taking something we can't elevate and making it into milk or honey. That's the secret of Moshiach. And that's the secret for any one of us who truly wants to do the work to bring a change to our world and transform darkness into light. Our work should not be focused on bringing light, especially during the month of Cancer. This month, our work should be focused on becoming an individual who has the power to transform darkness into light. Okay. And they told me to drink from the other side of the cup. Because I'm the feminine aspect. That's why. Let's look up one more thing while we're here doing this. Because everything means something. And them showing me that red outfit, or me selecting that as what I was going to wear and thinking to myself, I wouldn't normally wear that. Meaning of red clothing. The spiritual representation of red is power, energy, vitality, dominance, action, assertion, creation, survival, and passion. When a spiritual sign appears in your life that is red, it usually represents that you are ready to take action on a new goal or project that you have been putting off. The warm and positive color is associated with our need to survive and represents the strong and powerful energy. It motivates and helps the wearer to take action and win. That's interesting because my reading today said that very thing, taking action and victory. These qualities all lead to success. There's scientific proof that wearing the color red can in fact breed success. So, a victory to be had by drinking from the opposite side of a cup of milk and honey. Spiritual meaning of red clothing in a wedding. Let's see what that comes up with. Red color symbolizes energy, passion, and feeling in love. At the same time, it's an alarming signal warning about danger and taboos. Red may symbolize many things as positive, being love, infatuation, strong emotions, excitement, energy, strength, and passion. Many different types of cultural-based weddings are where red wedding gowns tend to be most popular. Here's somebody in 2012 that had a dream wearing a red dress getting married. What's the red dress all about? Why red? See, I normally don't wear red. Very, very seldom. So when I was looking at that outfit, I was thinking to myself, I wouldn't normally select something like that. I'm sure there's more meaning behind that. Hmm. Wedding dress, dream interpretation, dream Christ. Dreamchrist.com. Let's take a look. A dream meaning of wedding dress, well, not always in relationship with a wedding and a celebration party full of luxury on an unforgettable day. Although for many women, the subconscious has told them that dreaming of the veil, garlands, and wedding clothes is a good sign of love. In some cases, the dream meaning of wedding attire has to do with bonding, whether friendship or partner. In some countries, dreams about wedding dresses also depend on the color and condition. It can symbolize the need to increase attention in aspects such as family life or the dreamer himself. Dreaming of a red wedding dress. This is a typical dream that shows something terrible, a lie or cheating, even insecurity and doubt over you. Usually, a red wedding dress shows a lack of certainty about what is being decided in some areas of the dreamer's life. However, it is infrequent to choose this color to wear on a wedding day that shows something strange along the way. Huh. All right, you guys, settle down. Teenage kittens. Mm-hmm. They're in teenage mode. They're about 6 months now, so. Anyway, working on sorting that out. If any of you have additional information about what that vision was about of drinking from that cup, the opposite side, and it being a cup of milk and honey, cream and honey, what have you, and the meaning behind me choosing that red outfit, do leave it in the comments section, or you can email me at divineneedle8, the number 8, at gmail.com. Fascinating. Hear them? They're fighting with each other. That is Zeus and Will having a go at each other. Apollo's just watching. Anyway, just an update on trying to sort out what that whole vision was about. Oh, have a grand day.